All right, everybody, the time has come. We got the 67 slowback Barracuda in the paint booth, finally. This week, we got all the welding done on the underside of the car. We got all of our new A-body Mopar suspension parts welded to the bottom. Then we had Texas Green Blast come out and sandblast the bottom of the car on site. We shook out all the sand and rotated it and blew it all out. And now Mr. Heath has got it in the paint booth here at Hammer Fab, prepping it with some metal treatment, and we're getting ready to do some sealer, and later today, some Raptor liner. Let's go check it out. Also, on the bottom of the car, what he's done is seam sealed all the seams so that it's got a nice leak-free surface on it. And the seam sealer will also help kind of bridge the gap so that the Raptor liner looks a lot better. So right now, he's applying some special metal treatment stuff that helps etch the metal so that the sealer sticks really well. Now, if you look up here, we've got our inner fender frame stiffener plates. That's this part right here. Those are 14 gauge steel. Those will be part of the A-body suspension kit. And they basically, they stiffen the unibody structure and tie the inner fender into the frame rail, because part of our kit requires some fabrication right here, and you can see how thin it gets. Well, we got to add strength back to it. So that's what this does. And you know, once the whole K-member is bolted in here, it straddles this whole frame rail and stiffens that whole unit up. So really, this section is no longer the strength of the car. The strength is in our K-member. All right, so a couple of things on the bottom here. We left all the factory plugs on the floor. Those are going to get replaced, but we're going to leave them in there for now to keep all the paint, and we left them in there during the blasting so that all the inside of the car doesn't fill up with sand. We've got the headliner wrapped in plastic right now to protect it from dust and everything. So I've got a new set of these coming from, I believe, Classic Industries. And so once he gets done with the sealer, we'll pop those out, pop the new ones in, and we'll be good to go. Okay, now on the back here, we mini tubbed this car. So far, to my knowledge, nobody makes a mini tub that is just a spot weld replacement for these A-body Mopars. So we had to cut the original tub out, move it over and widen it, and then we had to add a strip in there. So on this car, it'll be fine. It turned out great, but we're working on a solution to possibly have those stamped so that, you know, you guys with the A-bodies can buy those and just drill out the spot welds and weld it in. They come all the way over to the frame rail now, so you can get a 325 tire in there, which is about 11-inch wide rim. You could probably fit a 12 in there if you really wanted to, but it's going to be tight. So now that the 67 Barracuda is all blown apart, it's over in the paint shop right now. We'll just go over some of these parts here. So what we've got here is the laser cut stainless access lid for the fuel pump and sending unit. This will go in the trunk. This bolts on with 1032 screws. And then we've got the modified truck oil pan here that we still have to finish doing some fabrication on. So right now we just tacked it in place because we couldn't get in there and fabricate it on the car. And so what we got to do is basically modify this and bring this out and weld it together. Finish that up. And then this is the new rear sway bar cross member that gets welded into the stock floor. These holes all get plug welded in, plug welds, and then these brackets go like this. They get welded in. That's for your rear sway bar mounts, and then all of this gets welded into the floor. These are the spring towers for the 12-inch coil spring. And then this is going to be an option that we offer for the 14-inch coil spring. So on the yellow car, we're using the 12-inch springs just because we've already got all that done. Now the main thing that changes is your inner fender clearance right here. So you know, on the yellow car, it's going to have a notch around here about like that so that you can still get in there and adjust your coil over. If you want the 14-inch spring, you're going to have to open up your inner fender a little bit bigger in order for this to clear. So we're going to do this on the fastback car that I've got in line next. So you can see we're getting these all cranked out. These are 1/4-inch thick steel that's all laser cut and bent. We'll MIG weld those up, get a We're gonna figure out the whole production process and everything, so pretty exciting. Stay tuned for that. I've already ordered 2 version 2 front suspension kits for both cars, so those will be here probably about 2 weeks. He said they'll ship mid to end of next week, so we'll get them in about 2 weeks. And then we'll start, we got to figure out a jig still for welding those together. And then once we get those welded together, should be pretty much all figured out, and then we'll start offering that stuff for you guys to purchase. So stay tuned. We got to do some welding on this Ford 9-inch axle for the 67 Barracuda. Just a little bit of welding left, and then we can take it over to the powder coater. So let's get it welded up. I think I'm gonna, what's that? Hey, can you go, where'd you go? Hey, we're here at High Point Powder Coating in Liberty Hill, Texas. We brought him some parts for the Barracuda. Let's get him inside. Howdy, how you doing? Brought you some parts. So I got this rear end. I want that to be 20% gloss black, and everything I brought will be 20% gloss black. All right, these are the brackets. There's just 3 brackets in there, and then this brand new gas tank. I just want it blasted, you know, obviously keep the stuff out of there, and then 20% black. I might be bringing something else, so we'll see. Thank you very much. Look at that. We got some undercoating on here. Raptor liner, man, this stuff looks good. I love the way this stuff looks. The texture of it, you know, it's just enough, but not so much that you can't clean it. You know, it hides a lot of the little things that, you know, take forever to sand out or whatever, and just makes a really nice, durable, roadworthy finish. So Heath just got done spraying all this on the bottom, and next, he's gonna be spraying the engine bay, a little bit of black, a little bit of yellow, and then pretty soon we'll be ready to put this thing together.